Despite several economic challenges, revenue collected has grown. SARS says the pace of economic recovery from COVID-19 devastation in the past year was disrupted by the repercussions of the war in Ukraine, the floods in KwaZulu-Natal, load shedding and logistics challenges. The agency says load shedding has led to revenue loss of about 60 billion rand as it affects overall profitability and constrains business growth. Despite the disruptions, growth was recorded in all tax types. In the past financial year, gross revenue before refunds were paid was 2 trillion rand. Tax refunds totaled 381 billion rand, leaving nearly 1.7 trillion rand in the kitty. Personal income tax contributed the lion's share at 35.7%, followed by value-added tax at 25%, company income tax at 20.6%, and customs and the other taxes at 18.7%.
Notwithstanding all the challenges of load shedding and a constrained economy, SARS has grown its gross revenue by 10%, where the nominal GDP is less than 6%. Secondly, huge refund payout that stimulates the economic activities, particularly when times are as hard as they are now. And thirdly, the dividend from the focused compliance activities by the South African Revenue Service.
It says the collected revenue will go a long way in assisting government to meet its obligations. The target for the current financial year is higher at 1.78 trillion, despite the weak economy and the load shedding, as well as other structural constraints.
I think that's going to be tough because if we're going to have low growth, and it does seem, I think if you look at the SAB, the IMF are saying, I have even bleaker projections going forward because it's all dependent on how much load shedding there's going to be. And that's a challenge which we're going to have to face. Of course, the difficulty we face is that once we've set the revenue target, or estimate really more accurately, that the minister sets in the budget in February this year, your expenditure level is in effect set. So if we don't, then you risk getting a higher deficit, more borrowing. That's the risk that we face. But I'm confident that just with SARS, we'll still do the best that it can. Of course, the economy is a much more powerful factor on what the revenue will be.
SARS says its targeted compliance interventions yielded 227 billion rand. The interventions include debt collection, a focus on criminal and illicit activities, as well as declaration compliance amongst large businesses. The agency says it worries about compliance in the small and medium business space, with about 60% compliance in this space. Gloria Safako Musi, SABC News, Pretoria.